Now, believe it or not, I've never actually played a Call of Duty game before. Personally, I've always been a Counter-Strikey person, but a COD World War II free open beta weekend certainly seemed like a good chance to give it a try. It's over now, so sorry if that's news to you, but either way, this video is my thoughts on it, which are apparently vastly different to most people, if the Steam reviews are to be believed. I've heard that the series peaked a while ago, but as a filthy casual, I don't really mind and just want to have some fun and shoot some dudes, and for that, I wasn't disappointed. Of all the mindless runaround modes, I usually stick to Domination because it's the best, but other than that, there was also a new War mode, which was the closest thing there was to a competitive match, where there are 4 timed objectives along a large map which you either try to complete, try to stop the other team from completing, or totally ignore and spawn camp your enemies because you want to be that guy. This mode was admittedly a lot better with friends, who you could hopefully convince to actually do the objectives, but there were a lot of tense moments and it genuinely felt rewarding to win a match. There are 5 main classes of soldier which you can choose from and then gradually unlock the rest, and within each you would level up your different weapons alongside your overall rank, to get new stuff and attachments. Most of it seemed reasonably balanced and there were no microtransactions in sight, yet, so even though there wasn't an amazing variety of weapons, it was still cool to see what the different pros and cons of the next one would be. Overall, the gameplay was nothing you've never seen before, and that's probably why COD veterans don't like it, but as an outsider, I have to appreciate the high level of polish. There were only a few maps since it's a free beta, and they were fairly varied in theme even if the gameplay wasn't. They could be a bit frustrating at first as you try to work out where the bad guys come from or whatever, but you get used to it pretty quick. As a multiplayer game, I'm not really in it for the immersive and faithful World War II experience, but apparently everyone else is, so I have to mention the lack of swastikas and the presence of female soldiers. Everyone's put on their outrage mode about this, but to be honest I can't quite bring myself to care. I wouldn't even notice if it wasn't for the voice lines, because I'm generally too busy shooting people to worry about their gender. So you know what, if you want to be a black German Nazi lady, then you do you know? Hitler doesn't discriminate, okay, bad example, but seriously, if it's in the multiplayer, I don't really mind. Finally, I'll touch on the game technically. I've heard a lot of reports of it having weird frame drops for some people, so I hope that gets sorted, but for me personally, it ran really well. Usually sitting in the 90 to 120 FPS range and never dropping below 60 at maximum settings 1080p, so I don't really have anything to complain about. If it stutters in this video, it's just because I was recording. The game looked very pretty for my low standards as a Counter-Strike player, and there was quite a lot of different options including field of view, which is a nice touch. COD of course lacks dedicated servers, and instead runs peer-to-peer, but honestly I wouldn't have guessed that just from playing. Hit reg meanwhile was functional in that I hit every shot I should have, and probably a few that I shouldn't. Last thing I'd like to see is a good anti-cheat, because even in the open beta, we began to see 1 or 2 really obvious cheaters. Frustrating, but at worst all I have to do is find a different match. Overall then, impressions were positive, and I had fun whether just sneaking in a 10-minute deathmatch or playing war with friends for hours. Would I buy the game? No, because it costs £45 and I can get some other better games for that. But I'd certainly get it on sale if that means anything. Do I think the hate isn't fully justified? Absolutely, it may just be more of the same for many people, but it's certainly not a bad game by any means. So those are my thoughts, make what you like of them. And thanks for 4,000 subscribers. Looks like the last video was really well received, so I've got another like it in the works for you to look forward to. Catch you later.